I'm like very nervous, but we're good.
On the program, we have Christian LeBlanc representing his inspiring story.
Hey everyone! So this right here is how I make my income. I'm a daily travel vlogger. I make videos for YouTube, and generally they take me around the world. I like to travel to beautiful, hot places with my beautiful girlfriend, but sometimes we end up in cold, damp, and dark places like Estonia. So, a little bit about my background. I'm a 23-year-old from Vancouver, Canada. I'm a business graduate student. And I started making videos because I did my last semester of school on exchange. So one of the cool things about my exchange was that I went to Bangkok, Thailand. And I thought to myself, Bangkok's a pretty unusual place. There's really not a whole lot of people who are going there. So I picked up a GoPro and I thought to myself, I'm going to record this. I want to be able to share this with friends, with family, and most of all, I want to record this so that when I'm old and doing boring things, I can look back on fun days and remember, you know, what it was like to be 22 or 21 at the time and just being in Bangkok. So I started recording every day. I was no film background, no video background. I was just, filming, cutting, making really, really basic videos, but it was awesome. I really enjoyed it, and it was a hobby. And so I did it for about 8 months, and after it was all said and done, I had to go back home. My trip was come to an end. I had about 2,000 to 3,000 subscribers at the time. It was very meager, very modest. And but it was really cool because I had like a community. There was 200 people that pretty much watched every single video and they interacted. And I got the feeling of what it was like to share with them, and I really enjoyed it. But it was time to be a grown-up. I went home, started working at an accounting firm. It's called Ernst & Young, you guys might know it. I was there, and within about a week of starting, I was like, why do I constantly keep thinking back to the days of Thailand? Like, shouldn't I be over it? Shouldn't travel be out of my system? But it wasn't. I was like constantly wanting to get back to Thailand, be on a scooter, just relaxing by a tropical island. And about 3 months into the job, I just simply made the decision that I had to go back to it. I couldn't delay it any further. And so I quit my job, and this has become my full-time job. I made that decision in January. So that kind of gives you an idea of how I've gotten to where I am today, and that's how I've been able to turn my passion into a thriving business. And so I want to start with my first point. And my first point is, you need to understand the burn rate. So you don't need to be a numbers person to be successful in business, but you do need to understand money. And so what my first steps were to identify, how could I earn money? How could I earn an income as a YouTuber? And so I identified a few ways. The first was ad revenue. So every time you see that annoying 30-second ad before a video, yeah, well, I'm getting 60% of the revenue earned on that video, or that little pop-up. And so it's not much money for one view, but when you get a lot of views, it does add up. And so that was one way. I knew that I could do affiliate linking. So through Amazon, if I share my products with you and you buy there, I get money. If I license out a video to a company, I get money. And if I work with a brand, do a brand endorsement, a product placement, I get money. So it's like, it was great that I was able to find different ways I could diversify and create multiple revenue streams. But just as important as figuring out your revenue streams is figuring out your expenses. And when I quit my job, I had very little money in the bank. I had about $3,500 US. So after I bought my one-way ticket to Thailand, I had $3,000 US to somehow turn it into a successful business. So that's not a whole lot of money. But what I did was, I found the next big expense, which was my camera gear. I knew I needed a good camera in order to be successful on YouTube, to make high-quality content. And so how do I get rid of my camera expense? Well, I start asking people for free camera gear. You'd be surprised at what you can do if you just ask. Not only did I ask, but I communicated the passion. So I was very fortunate. Panasonic not only believed in my content, but they believed in the passion. And so Panasonic has given me a camera that I use to this day. That in itself eliminated like a $2,000 expense. So my next expense was living. And what better way to reduce your living expense than to move somewhere like Thailand? And so just like that, $3,500 US became $10,000 to $15,000 in buying power. Just like that, I was 3 to 4 times richer when I had very little and knew I needed that money to make it into a successful business. So that is how I substantially reduced my burn rate, increased my buying power, and one of the ways that I was able to turn my passion into a business, successful business. And the second thing is, this is something every speaker here will hit on, and it's just this: you need to work your ass off. Nobody else will work towards your dreams other than you. I know I post a lot of photos of Laura and I hanging out by beautiful tropical places, but despite having this appearance of always being chilling out and relaxing, you know, you don't see the 3:30 a.m. nights where we're working, busy, building up the business and sending out emails and editing. So there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. And that's just the reality of any successful entrepreneur. You're gonna work your ass off. But the cool thing is, we live in an era where everything is accessible at our fingertips. You can watch a video and learn how to make music. You can read an article and get an introduction to astrophysics. Everything is accessible, and that's just it. That's exactly how I am here today, because I decided to watch a bunch of tutorials on YouTube and learn how to edit some videos, and that's gotten me to where I am today. And I'm very, very proud to say that I'm a YouTuber. I love this job. So this is another point I want to leave you with. The key is definitely not to read another inspirational book. The key is not to listen to me speak here. The key is to simply go out there and do it yourself. Get started now. Create that successful business. Just like I did. I had no idea what the heck I was doing, but I fully invested myself in that thing. I channeled all my energy into it, and it's brought me so many great things. I cannot believe that I'm standing here today, and I get the opportunity to hang out with all of you guys. My third point is this: you need to be passionate. You need to be the one who believes that you will overcome the odds. I walked in here today and I stood over this little placard on the ground and it said, 9 out of 10 businesses will fail. And I thought to myself, why the heck do people sign up for this if the odds are so against them? It made me think, well, the reason I did it was because I truly believed that this is something that I would do with or without the success. I was passionate about what YouTube was, about what I was doing, and about what it could do for me. And it's this very passion that carries me through the highs, through the lows. And the tough thing with YouTube is the lows are very apparent. Everyone knows when you're in a low. Your views, your shares, your likes, everything is quantifiable. Everyone can see it. And so when you hit those lows, it's really discouraging. Sometimes you just want to walk away from it and just give up. But it's the fact that I'm passionate for what I'm doing that allows me to keep doing this. One other thing I wanted to expand on is the fact that you don't have to be passionate about what you're doing. The guy who invented the porta potty, he probably wasn't passionate about bowel movements. What he was passionate about was what the porta potty could do for him, for his family. And that's just it. There's days when I'd rather not be, editing. I'd rather not be filming myself. I'm just not feeling it that day. But I'm passionate about what YouTube has done for me, what it continues to do for me, and that's what really encourages me to keep doing it, even when I don't feel like doing it. So I want to leave you guys with one last thought. Find the thing that gets you excited, find your passion, and put and channel all of your energy into it, because it's pretty incredible to see what happens when you follow your passion. Thank you very much.